Ladies and gentlemen, let us discuss Bridgerton. That's right, the Netflix series that came out on the 20th of December 2020, and it has been viewed by a lot of people. Specifically today, I would like to talk about the costumes, and even more specifically, my favourite character, Penelope Featherington. The first thing to say is that this series has caused a lot of, well, feelings, shall we say, especially from costumers. And it's kind of a love-hate kind of situation. You either absolutely love it, or you absolutely hate it, or you have a love-hate relationship. There is no like, there is not, it's okay. It's really that extreme. I sit in this category. I love these costumes. And the reason why I love these costumes is because it is not seeing it through an historically accurate lens. It is playing with colours and textures and really creating this fantasy world of London in 1813. And I am going to say that a lot of costumers are going to hate me for loving it because it is so not historically accurate. I mean, the lack of chemises underneath the stays is... okay, it's maddening even for me. However, I can completely respect why the director and the designers came to this conclusion that they would swap out historical accuracy for this fun, fantastical, whimsical collection of costumes. The costumes work so well in conjunction with the shooting style and the use of colour through all of the different scenes. I mean, if you take just looking at the ensemble at the very start as they shift through towards the end of the series, the colour palette, oh, it's gorgeous. However, I don't want to go too far with this because I don't want to talk about the ensemble or even the overall cast of Bridgerton. Today, I wanted to focus this video on Penelope Featherington, or rather Pen, because she is kind of known for having the worst costumes of the series. But you see, I would like to challenge that. I have a sneaky suspicion that the costumes of Pen were actually really cleverly designed to look as bad as they do, and there is a reason behind it. So come with me as I talk about her colour palette and also the fit issues that we see in her costumes and why that's important. And of course, it goes without saying that there are spoilers ahead. Firstly, let's talk about colour and the use of it within Bridgerton. Most of the main cast, especially the females, and also the ensemble females, wear really light, beautiful colours. The whites, the creams, the apricots, the lilacs. And what I really love is that throughout the entire series, you will see that as they go to these different balls and these different parties, that they're generally wearing all roughly the same colour. This in turn creates a real sense of feeling about what the party is about. There is only a few characters who wear really bold colours, two of which are the Queen and Lady Danbury. Now, don't get me even started on the Queen. I do think that although her fashion is absolutely beautiful, it's totally wrong. Like, why would you be wearing 1700 clothing in early 1800s when you are the Queen? However, it makes her grandiose, it makes her be seen, and it really differentiates her from the rest of the cast. So, I still love it. See what I mean by the love-hate kind of situation? Whereas Lady Danbury wears a lot of mulberries and purples and deep reds. This is a mature colour. This is also a woman who is bold, who stands aside from society whilst also being right in the centre of it. Other than the Queen and Lady Danbury, the only other family that plays with colour to such extent is of course the Featheringtons. But the Featherings don't wear mature colours, they instead wear the family colours and are often paired with really obscene fabrics. So you throw that all in your face and well, they're kind of mocked. Like, not kind of, straight up mocked. Yet here's the thing. It all comes down to Lady Featherington. It is all her choosing. So the family colours are yellow, orange, pinks, greens and purples. And for the Lady Featherington, there's a whole lot of like metal work that goes into her costumes as well. She has a silhouette that is very different to the rest of the cast, and I think that's done on purpose to really even isolate her further. The best way that I can describe how the Featheringtons are being portrayed is basically Lady Tremaine and the two ugly stepsisters. And the real key thing here is that all three of them are oblivious to how obscene their outfits are. However, Pen, who is the youngest, is not. Pen is also dressed in primarily yellow. That's right, 13 out of her 26 outfits, which is shown on Netflix, are yellow outfits. And of course, Pen hates wearing yellow. She hates it because yellow is not generally a good colour for redheads to wear. Yet, she's forced to wear it. That's kind of her colour as dictated by Lady Featherington and her choices for Pen. As for her sisters, well, they are still within the palette, but they wear more greens and purples and a little bit of orange. So these colours work better for redheads, however, they are still quite loud. It's also worth noting at this point that Lady Featherington clearly loves her two older girls more so than Pen.
Mine will have to be taken in, of course.
Mine's perfect. And mine is yellow.
The next colour that Pen wears the most of is the colour pink. 9 of her 26 outfits that are shown are pink. I have the feeling that pink is Pen's favourite colour out of the small palette choice that she has. But the thing is that her pink dresses, they're still in your face. And if they aren't so much in your face, like they're more of a dusky pink, generally speaking, the embellishments make them tacky. However, I really get the feeling that pink is her favourite colour because when she is given the opportunity to choose her own dress, because her father is taking her to a ball, not her mother, she chooses the softest pink dress that she owns. And even the embellishments are kind of softer greens and whites and purples. It really suits her, even though it's still a bit over the top compared to the rest of the ladies at the ball. The other thing worth noting is that most of her day dresses are pink as well.
Mama would never allow me to wear a dress like this. Not yellow enough, I think.
It's just a fact of Bridgerton. The Featheringtons have a particular style which to the general audience and also the rest of the society, well, it's not a good style. But more on that next. So the biggest complaint that costumers had was the fit of Pen's costumes. Yep, I hear you. 100% I hear you. The bodices for Pen were cut too short, which makes you wonder, well, why did they do that? Were the seamstresses lazy or just didn't know how to fit someone who was of a larger size? Well, here's the thing. I believe it was a stylistic choice. Firstly, have a think of the other characters within Bridgerton. There are certainly some women who are well endowed, shall we say, and yet their costumes fit fine. I mean, look at Lady Bridgerton, for example. Her costumes are very nicely done and she is bigger, shall we say. Not maybe as big as what Pen is, but still you can see that they've got the shape correct on her. And the other thing is that Pen has costumes that fit her correctly, such as her court gown and her bed gown. And why is this? It's because they were both made for her. All of her other costumes, all 24 of them, are not made for her. Sure, they go on her body, but they are made for Lady Featherington. Lady Featherington is obsessed with the house colours and she wants them to be on brand. They are a Featherington, that is what they are, and we are going to make sure that all 3 girls look the same. And the 2 older girls have similar proportions. There's a bit of height difference there, but realistically, they're very similar. Pen's proportions are completely different, and these are not taken into account when these outfits are being designed for her. And it's because of this that poor Pen always has her bodices in the front too short and they stop mid-bust, meaning that because of the Empire line, all of the skirt, and especially if it's a gathered skirt, fall directly from that widest part of her body. Talk about being super unflattering. And the other thing I quickly want to mention is that pink dress that she chooses for herself. Well, the Empire line is almost at the right place. So it's the most flattering out of, well, the hideous dresses, which is just another reason why she likes it. She feels good in it. Also, in relation to the proportions, keep in mind that Pen's bust is also being lifted quite severely. So because of that, she looks even like more up here than what she probably is. But hey, raised bosoms in this show is kind of a common theme, so it's not just Pen in that regards. So with all of these stylistic choices, I would not be surprised if it is there as a way for Lady Featherington to essentially body shame Pen into losing weight. So that way she can look prettier in her gowns, in the family colours.
Penelope is quite nervous. This shall be her very first season.
I am not nervous, Mama.
What she is 2 stone heavier than she ought to be.
Those blemishes on her face are quite difficult to conceal.
But hey, don't forget that this show also body shamed Daphne for being too thin, and that came from a potential mother-in-law.
You ate, but not one bite at tea, my dear. A young lady must be well fed if she is to bear children.
At the end of the day, weight and body shaming is nothing new to women, and I believe that is exactly the reason why it is written within the books and it is presented in the show. In conclusion, Pen's dresses are terrible, but all for the right reasons. This is a woman who is trapped, but can also see everything incredibly clearly. After all, we all know who she truly is at the end of the season. One thing I would say is go and watch it again for a second time and just watch Pen in the background of all of the party scenes. Haha, it is gold. I'm like, how did I miss it the first time? What the costumes did for Pen is it made her insignificant and undesirable. She appears doll-like, chibi if you like, and because of this, she is not taken seriously. She is viewed more as a child, and as Marina points out, this is the reason why Colin, the person whom she loves, will never see her as a woman.
Your love is an unrequited fantasy. Colin sees you as you are and regards you no differently than he does Eloise, or even little Hyacinth.
So in short, Pen's costumes are so important to her and the storytelling of her as a character within this wider story. And they're brilliant. Thank you so much for watching this video. Of course, these are just my thoughts and opinions about Pen's costumes. If you've got your own, please leave them in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this, please let me know as well, because this is something brand new and different. And of course, I'm coming at this as a cosplayer and costume enthusiast, not a historical costumer. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. See you later. Bye!